Undercover Jetsetter Travel.
She was one of the last in Notre Dame Cathedral Before the Fire. Hi, everyone. John Daly here. Welcome to Undercover Jetsetter Radio. We are joined by Alecia Fife. She is from Las Vegas. She is a teacher and a personal trainer, and she is talking to us from Amsterdam. Alecia, thanks for talking to me.
Absolutely. No problem.
Well, great. So you are in Europe on a trip, but also for a marathon. Briefly, just tell us about why you were there.
We are actually just here on vacation. I'm not here for the race. My husband and I, and then two of our friends are here touring Paris, Amsterdam, and London. So we started off.
Oh, wonderful. Okay, so you at first you were not. For some reason, I thought you were running. I guess I was seeing your Facebook page that you're a marathoner too, aren't you?
Yeah, didn't run that one. I missed that Paris marathon by a day, so we didn't get there in time for that one.
Okay, all right. Well, you had enough excitement. Tell us what happened when you were inside Notre Dame Cathedral.
So we just by chance happened to go there. It was kind of out of our way, and we said we really need to go see it today. It was on our list of things to do. So we headed down that way, and when we entered the cathedral, there was a mass going on, and there were, of course, lots of people filtering through, listening to the mass, and just filtering through the areas where you can just observe the mass and not participate in the mass. So we cycled through, and we were looking at some of the artifacts, and we came outside, and I called my daughter. I FaceTimed my daughter because I wanted to show her the outside of the cathedral. And it was literally less than 5 minutes after we came out, we were standing right outside, that the doors came open and all these people started coming out, and we heard alarms. It wasn't loud alarms. Honestly, we didn't see any smoke. We didn't see anything, and we thought that it was just the end of the mass. And we're like, wow, they open up the doors and they get the people out really fast. So we started just kind of making our way up the Champs-Elysees, and we started getting text messages and messages on Facebook, are you okay? And we turned around and we looked, and that's when we saw the smoke coming out of the back of the church. So wow. Yeah, it was crazy. So
now, did you stay and watch the rest of it?
We and it's funny because we started hearing a lot of sirens, but it's kind of normal in Paris. You hear that a lot. So we really didn't think anything of it, because honestly, we didn't see the fire until we turned, because we were walking in the opposite direction. We stopped and we were watching, and then of course it was all over news feeds, and so we started reading about it and trying to figure out how it happened. But so it was just crazy. We were literally 50 feet from the door when the people started coming out.
Wow. Did you get any video or any photos?
I did get a couple of photos, yes. Actually, the most devastating photo that we got when we were inside, we were taking some photos of the stained glass and of the altar when the mass was going on. And I have a side-by-side of what it looked like when we were in there and then what it looks like now. It's literally destroyed. It's terrible.
Yeah, and that is just beautiful stained glass too. That's very sad. Wow.
It was,
wow.
Yeah, it was very sad. The city of Paris they're devastated. It's it was people are just donating money to, people are vowing to make sure that it gets rebuilt, and I'm just so thankful that we went, because if we're going back to Paris on Saturday, but we wouldn't have been able to go. So I'm very, very thankful that we were able to go and see it. I'm glad, of course, nobody got hurt.
Wow. We are talking with Alecia Fife from Las Vegas, who happened to be in Paris when the cathedral Notre Dame caught fire. Did you kind of touching on it there? What's your takeaway from this all? Because is this your first time going to Paris?
It's our first time here. Yes.
Wow. Man.
It was very surreal. Honestly, we were inside, and it's quiet, and you hear the woman singing during the mass. It was just absolutely beautiful. And we went to the memorial candles, and I lit a candle for my father who passed away several years ago. And, it's just, we walk out, and that it's like, and then just complete devastation. It was just very surreal. It was very strange to think that we were just in there literally minutes before. So. Wow.
What a wave of feelings, because I'm sure you probably feel, wow, I got a chance to see it before the fire took place. Then at the same time too, you've got to think, well, I'm happy nobody died, and there's a chance it could be rebuilt. At least that's what they're talking about. So, I mean, you've just got to have.
They are going to rebuild it, but
through.
You have to think too that that's not going to be the same. It's the history of the cathedral and what everything represents. I mean, they'll rebuild it, but I mean, some of those things are just kind of irreplaceable. So that's the tragic part of it all, is what the cathedral stands for, and that now it's there's no doubt that they'll replace it because it means so much to the city, but it just won't be the same. Like that stained glass, I don't think you can honestly replace that stained glass.
No, not from centuries ago. No, absolutely not.
Exactly.
Have you heard from a lot of friends, because you were on Facebook? So did a lot of people get in touch with you?
Well, that's how we found out. As we were walking up, people started texting me, "Hey, what's going on at Notre Dame? What are you guys okay?" And we're like, "What are you talking about? We were just there." And that's when we turned around and we saw the smoke. And actually, if you looked up at the other end where the L'Arc de Triomphe is, you could see the smoke in the sun. And we turned around, and then you just saw the smoke billowing out of the cathedral. So Apparently there was a bunch of scaffolding. There was renovations going on in the back of the cathedral, which we couldn't see from the front. But I believe that's where the fire started.
And you were in no danger in any way, right?
No, we weren't in any danger. But again, we saw people filtering out quickly out of the building. We assumed it was because it was closing soon. We were there right about the time that they closed, which was about 6:45 p.m. Go
ahead. I was just going to say that there's always the joke. Being a Catholic who had three uncles that were priests, the joke is always there's nothing scarier than being in a Catholic church parking lot when Mass is over. And when you were mentioning about how they were streaming out, I would have made that joke, not realizing what was going on.
Well, when a message was first sent to one of my friends, he thought it was a joke. That you're coming out of the cathedral and now it's on fire. We didn't think anything of it until we turned around and then we saw it.
And so after the fire happened and after you had, you knew what was going on, how much longer did you stay at the scene there? Did you stay for a long time, or did you get out of there just because there was so much activity going on?
We were out of the area. We were more up at the top of the Champs-Élysées, and we walked. We walked on, different roads that were far away from the cathedral. There was no way you could get down to that area. But what we heard was that part of the traffic is just dreadful on that road. And part of the reason why the fire spread so quickly is that they could not get the fire trucks down there because of the traffic, and that they were pumping water from the river to try and put it out. So
wow.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Based on your experience, any advice for people if they're in a situation like that? Can you offer anything as far as that goes?
I think mainly we were not in any danger. Just if we were in the cathedral, it'd be to just really try and remain calm. And I think too is just be respectful to what this means to the French people, and understand that this is a tragedy in their country, and just respect that, and understand what that building meant to them.
Wonderful. That's great. That's great advice. Alecia Fife is from Las Vegas. She's a teacher and a personal trainer. She's coming to us from Amsterdam, and she was there during the fire at Notre Dame. Alecia, thank you so much for sharing this. I really appreciate you taking the time, especially out of your trip, and enjoy the rest of your trip. And I'll be curious to see what it would be like when you go back to Paris at the end of the week.
Yeah, I'll definitely, I'll let you know. I'll let you know what it's like when we get back.
Okay, and people can follow you on Facebook. You are on Facebook, so they can see some of the stuff you're doing. All right, well, thank you again. We really appreciate it. And folks, keep it tuned here for more Undercover Jetsetter. You can go to our YouTube channel to see our shows, along with Facebook and Twitter as well. We will show you how to jet set without being a millionaire. We will talk to you soon.
See segments and episodes at youtube.com/undercoverjetsetter.